Good?
Oh,
Yeah, you're on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Facebook Live, episode 66. It's a rainy, ugly day here in Roanoke, as you all know. And even you, Apollo, out in D.C., you know that it's rainy and an ugly day as well. So, it's hopefully you guys are enjoying indoors because we've been indoors for 2 months. But, hey, why not? Why not be indoors for a little bit longer, So hope everyone's safe and dry. Today we have John from Super Kicks joining us in just a few minutes. He's going to talk to us a little bit about his martial arts classes, a little bit about the virtual classes that he does, and give us a little bit of a demo on a couple moves that you can use to break free from an attacker and things like that. So he'll be joining us in just a few minutes, so stick around. Ani, did you put Krispy Kreme donuts in the title like we talked about?
Oh no, forgot.
Okay. Let's cancel the stream and make a new one that says Krispy Kreme donuts.
No.
And then in small print put only if you buy them.
No. Alright. I do not know how to put in small print in your Facebook Live.
Alright. Well, we're not really gonna do that. But anyway,
Are we not giving away Krispy Kreme donuts then?
I totally forgot.
Okay, so guys, it's off now. You guys got like tricked.
Yeah, Evie, that was already apparent that it was off.
Well, he said that they were gonna get Krispy Kreme
So,
donuts last night.
If they paid for them.
Tomorrow, yeah, but no. Last night I said we were going to give them away tonight.
Gonna give him a gift card tomorrow.
So what we'll do is tomorrow we will actually do Krispy Kremes, but I need you to remind me. And here's what we're going to do. I'm going to run out to the store tomorrow at some point. I don't know when.
Yes.
And I will get a Krispy Kreme gift card. And I will bring you back a Krispy Kreme donut and a Krispy Kreme hot chocolate.
Evie already made hot chocolate.
I know, but this is specifically as for Evie as a thank you and for reminding me.
All right.
Okay.
So can you do that?
Yeah.
Donuts and hot chocolate tomorrow for you if you remind me.
All right, and
All right.
Ani too.
And Ani too, of course. Producer
Yes,
Ani.
wants it.
Producer Ani too.
She may not.
All right, so a couple things real quick. Roanoke seniors, this is your parents with graduating seniors in the class of 2020. This is your last chance. Today is the last day for us to accept your pictures and your bios of the seniors. Please head over to our website at roanoke.family and let us know that who you're honoring, and their picture and bio will be put in the June issue for free. But you have to do it today because we need that information so we can start designing the June issue. So please send that in today. We'll give you until midnight tonight. Well, really, let's just say by the time we wake up tomorrow morning and we get in front of our computers, we need to have the pictures and the info. So head over to roanoke.family, click on the graduation cap that says Class of 2020, and send us those pictures and the bio of those students, please. They will be in the June issue, and we will be working on the June issue next week. So please do that. Evie, one more time, where do they go? Let's see if you're paying attention.
They go to the Facebook page, right? Roanoke.family.
They could go to the Facebook page, or they could go to Roanoke.family. Okay.
And then they
What's
click on.
Roanoke.family, Evie?
That's the website.
Good job.
And then they click on the thing that says 2020 class of
click on the-
whatever. It has a graduation cap, and
Okay,
it has
okay.
like big letters. And
Alright.
then they submit the form.
Okay, awesome. Yesterday we gave Evie Kool-Aid for the first time, and it's still having an effect on her.
I don't think it's the Kool-Aid anymore.
I think it's Evie has only 2 days left of school. She had Kool-Aid yesterday. She is.
I think it's also just the mentality.
I think she's coming down off the Kool-Aid right now. That's what I think. I think she's coming down off the Kool-Aid.
No, I think it's just her mentality of having had Kool-Aid. She's like, I had Kool-Aid.
Yes.
Let's have a party.
So anyway, that's one thing. Second thing, Roanoke Valley Kids, our digital magazine, is our new issue 10. We've been doing that for 10 issues now.
10 weeks.
10 weeks of that we've been doing it, and that's available right now on our that's available right now on issue. It'll be emailed to you so you can print out the crossword puzzles, the word searches, the shadow matching games, all those things. That'll be emailed out to you tomorrow. So please check your inboxes for Roanoke Valley Kids issue 10. That is in your inbox tomorrow. All right. So let's bring in John here, and we're going to talk to John. kicks, and he'll show off some of his martial arts, some of the defense tactics that maybe you can use and pick up, and he'll also tell us a little bit about what's going on in his world with his martial arts classes and how they're coping with the pandemic. So let's bring John in right now, and we'll see what's going on in his world. Hey, John, how you doing?
I am fantastic, sir. How are you today?
Um, well, I'm great. The weather's a little gray. It's a good day to be inside. I see we have that nice
Yeah,
view behind you of all the rain coming down. It must feel nice and dry inside your studio, right?
indeed. So the irony is not lost on me. We were told that the gyms aren't allowed to open yet
Yes.
because of COVID, and I said, okay, that's fine. Karate guys, we roll with the punches. We'll just go outside and do classes outside. And then the day that I post that we're going to be outside, I see that there's flash flood warnings for the entire week. So at some point in time, we'll actually be outside doing classes. We got a couple in on Saturday, which was fun. So I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to doing outside classes in small groups.
it's amazing. The minute we start able to go do things, it's the ugliest week that we've had
Yeah,
in quite a long time. So
surreal. Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So you're doing outdoor. You're going to try to do outdoor classes, and I know you've been doing online demos and stuff on your web page, on your
Heck
Facebook page.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. How's that going?
It's been a neat experience, challenging, but pressure makes diamonds. I mean, I got to learn some new things as far as new tips and tricks, and it's given me a chance to take a lot of our curriculum online now. So now we
Sure.
have an app running for students where they can go in and check each week's curriculum that they need to learn, and we have live Zoom classes for students throughout the week, which has been fun. It's been good to be able to at least keep up with my students and get to work out with them. And on top of that, I was never willing to do private lessons, whereas this is given the opportunity that, based on the scenario, I'm actually doing private lessons for students now in small groups online and throughout the afternoon and things like that. So it has created opportunities that were not there before, and so it's been quite the experience. Zoom has been fantastic, though. I've been very grateful for the technology that's been out there that has saved me in regards to that. But I am stoked. Once the weather is permissible, we'll be up and running outside. Although I have to admit, like I not for an entire day of classes, but I do like the idea of just one class out in the rain because I feel like I would feel like Mr. Miyagi. That just sounds like a classic Karate Kid type moment,
Yep.
training out in the rain doing our karate.
That that's pretty good. You made a Karate Kid reference. I was talking with North Cross teacher just the other day, who's actually North Cross is right behind you.
Yeah,
But I was talking with them, and we made a Back to the Future reference. So we've got a Back to the Future
yeah.
reference and a Karate Kid reference within a couple days of each other. That's pretty sweet.
I I try, man. So when I teach kids, one of the things we do, we work on simple wrist grabs. I usually try to tie in some type of like fun activity with it, where I have a story attached to each thing. Well, most times I'll have kids doing wrist grabs where I'll have them take their hand and do a circle down and around, and I'll say, "Now I want you to say wax on." And with this blank look on their face, they go wax on, and all the parents on the side are like, "Yes." I try to keep them up to date on the important references.
Yeah, the '80s movie references. I
That's
just gotta
exactly right.
I gotta work in a Goonies reference at some point over the next couple of
Well,
days.
I can figure out how I'll help you in the interview here today. I don't know. I don't know that I'm good with the karate stuff. The Goonies is, although iconic and fantastic, I don't know that I have the skill set for that yet. We'll see.
We'll work on it. I'm sure we can figure out a way to do it. We've watched that movie a dozen times, so I'm sure we can
Yeah,
probably figure something out with that. But so tell me a little bit about the ages that you guys serve there, and you mentioned obviously the individual classes or smaller groups that you're doing through Zoom and everything. So tell us a little bit about the
yeah.
ages of the kids that you're working with, or people. I guess I shouldn't assume that it's just kids.
Well, yeah,
And
everybody. We do.
yeah. Tell me a little bit about the ages and what kind of classes you're having hosting.
So we have kids as young as 4 all the way through. I think Mr. Mewald was 70 when he got his black belt. So I can hit people at
Wow.
any age can do martial arts, and it was a good opportunity for him. He said he wanted something to do to bond with his grandson Ben, and so really every age group. I have some, not every child. I have some kids at 3 that we'll let them try it out and see how they do. And some 3-year-olds can be amazing as well. I know my kids were not ready at age 3, so it depends on the child.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong if they're not ready with it. Although for all of my ninja skills and years of teaching, I found that I taught recently at a elementary school before everything happened. 400 kids in the gym, no big deal. 30-minute class, I could teach the entire thing. Everyone was flawless. Put my child in the class, and they're climbing on me. Daddy, pick me up, and I need you to hold me, and I need a hug, and help me go over here. And I'm like, I
Uh-huh.
just need to teach. So other than that, yeah, ages 4 and up, everyone is welcome as far as classes go.
Awesome, awesome. So obviously this has kind of put things in a little bit of a weird situation for you in terms of doing classes online, trying to figure out make things work for you. But I'm assuming you're still registering and having setting up for classes in the fall or in the summer
Oh
or
yeah.
whenever that may be. So how can people sign up for those and learn about it? I mean, let's direct them to the website and talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. So we have I have the website set up where if you go to just superkickskarate.ninja, we actually have 2 locations. One is
Superkickskarate.ninja. Nice. I
.ninja.
like
Yes, sir. So I have a .net, I have a .club, I have a .ninja. .ninja can direct you to either the Roanoke location or
that.
the Troutville location. So you can go to either side depending on what side of town you're on as far as class goes. And with that though, there's a free registration for a trial on there. And students that jump on, they can start doing Zoom classes now because we have
Mhm.
classes. We have class on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays are Zoom classes. And then on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, assuming you can row your boat in to make it into class, we'll do outside parking lot classes where people can go through and register. The software we use allows us to limit it to less than 10 people per class so that we are staying within
Sure.
guidelines and regulations for doing the
Yep.
outside. But we start students off with a free trial. They get to come in, you get a month of classes they can use just for free, no obligation, or they can use it as an opportunity to sign up and get a discount on signing up as well. But
That's
yeah, the
great.
website's the way to go. God bless the internet.
Well, I know. I mean, we never did anything like this before, where we were interviewing people and doing things live on air, and every day we talk about how many days in a row now. So this is
Yeah.
66 days in a row for us that we've been doing this, and
Wow.
it's become a normal staple. And we have a studio in our basement now with
Nice.
cameras and computers and sound equipment and backdrop, and I mean we what is it? Necessity is the mother of invention,
That's
right?
exactly right.
So I see that. I mean, that's what you guys are doing, and that's what we're doing. So most people, I would think, have probably passed your business on electric, but you mentioned Troutville as well. Now you guys are using, I think, is it Prestige? Are you in
Yes,
there?
sir. Yes,
There you
sir.
go.
Miss Duffy, the owner of Prestige, phenomenal. I really appreciate what she does. And so we've used their location for classes on that side of town, which has been great for us as well. So it's a good partnership. It seems to synergize very well as far as students that take gymnastics like to do martial arts and vice versa.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So how many? Are you there any certain days of the week as well, or is it kind of part of those days that you mentioned? Are you down there?
Most times I'm on this side of town in the Cave Spring location, and then Mr. Mark Stafford is one of our black belt instructors that
Gotcha.
runs the ins and outs of the Troutville side of the locations as well. We work together a lot on different things, but for the most part, I'm tied here, and he's up there running things on that side.
Gotcha. Well, that's about as opposite sides of the Roanoke region as you can get right there, right? So Troutville,
Yeah,
Cave Spring, you're right north and south. So that's a good mix for you.
yeah, it's been a good fit as far as location. We've been fortunate as far as where everything is. And on top of that, students that are training at one have the option to train at the other and vice versa, so that if one of the schedules lines up where, hey, this Saturday I'm going to be on that side of town, come on, we're good for you over here. But if not, you got time
Great.
over there as well.
That's awesome. That's really good. So we talked about different age groups and kids and adults doing it. So, what are some of the reasons that families, kids or families in general, take
Sure.
martial arts classes? What are they looking for? What are they looking to accomplish?
So very different perceptions. Depends on who's looking. If it is the parent that's looking for classes, they are usually looking more for their child to develop more confidence, more discipline, more focus. If it is the child that says, "I want to get into karate classes," it's because they want a pair of nunchucks, which is totally cool by me. It helps on
Sure.
both sides of the coin, and so we do a lot with the family dynamic in class, having the whole family train together so that
Nice.
as you're in class, you can take class with your child and everybody's benefited together.
That's great. Yeah, and they get the parents get the discipline and the courage, and the kids get the nunchucks.
Heck, that's exactly right. And so I had one of my heroes. His name was Jim Rowan, public speaker from a while back, and just real smart guy. He always said certain things, like talking about trying to build confidence and things like that in people. He mentioned someone said to him at one point at one of his seminars, "Oh yeah, I don't usually come to these because it wears off. You get to feel good about yourself for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, after a little while, it fades. So what's the point in over and over again doing it?" And he said to the guy, honestly, I shower every day knowing that I'm gonna smell funny the next day and I'm gonna shower again tomorrow. And so one of the big benefits of class is you're constantly in classes, we are constantly using positive affirmation and doing things to give great analogies and how things can help you and how you can help other people. Those types of attributes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and it doesn't. I guess, like you said, it doesn't really matter what gets them in, but at the end of the day, how it makes them feel and how it makes them perform is what's key. Whatever the motivation is to get there,
Absolutely.
it makes you as a better person, whether it be healthier, have more confidence, whatever it may be. At the end of the day, that's what matters. So.
Yes, sir.
Um, so what do you enjoy? I mean, what do you enjoy about teaching and about being in the martial arts field? Obviously, you didn't just probably just didn't just wake up one day and become an expert in karate or anything like that.
Sure.
What made you go
Years.
into it, and what do you enjoy about
Years of Ninja Turtle watching, as far as growing up, I feel was a heavy influence in my development. I got lucky. My experience, I was doing landscaping for years. My instructor, who knew mutual friends of mine, and we hung out for a little while, and he asked me, he said, "Hey, I'm walking to my car one day," and he says, "Mr. Bryant." I'm 18 years old. I've never been called Mr. Bryant in my life. And I looked at him like, "Are you having an aneurysm? Like, what?" And so he said, "How would you like a job?" And he hired me just based on my work ethic, as far as what he'd see me doing with other jobs. And I'd never done martial at that point. I'd never done martial arts, and I was so fortunate that I got into it at that point. My first class coming in, I came in and we worked on a knife disarm. We had little rubber knives we work with, and they were teaching me one of the black belt classes where they do a knife disarm. And so I learned it, and I go home and I sit down on my couch, and Walker Texas Ranger comes on, and
it?
the bad guy pulls out a knife, and me on my couch, I'm like, I know what to do, and it was the coolest. It was the coolest feel. Now, for parents watching, my goal is not. We don't go straight into knife disarms. That's at black belt level later on, but watching it, I was super inspired by that attribute of it. But going into teaching it, really, what motivated me on wanting to be an instructor was not the cool factor, because let's be honest, saying I'm a karate instructor is definitely a cool thing to say.
Sure, absolutely.
But what really motivated me to get into it was seeing the amount of impact it had on just the kids growing up. I had one kid when this is, I don't know, 15 years ago. His name was Garrett. I was still maybe a yellow belt at the time. And Garrett comes in for his first class. When we have people come in, let me adjust my camera so I can walk through the phase here. When people come in, we take them to the door and we say, "Okay, when you come in, you're going to put your feet together, hands at your sides, we'll bow and we'll say, 'Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am.'" And I look over and little Garrett, maybe 6 years old, starts crying. And I thought, "Oh." And so first class, he comes in, he does sort of does it, but is kind of standoffish. And then second class, he gets to a spot, but kind of just stands to the whole class. By class 3 and 4 started to open up, and I remember within a month or two, just a huge difference in this little guy that was crying at the door when he first
Mhm.
started,
Yep.
to the point where by the time he was starting to work towards getting his yellow belt, he was awesome, man. It was so cool to see that. And then even later, I still remember having someone come back to me. Oh gosh, they're probably 25, 26 now, but they took class when they were like 12. And they said to me, "Master Brian, I want you to know I still make decisions today based on what my expectation is of what you would want me to do." And man, that's just the
That's
coolest
awesome.
feeling in the world. Yeah, to feel like you've had someone that is consciously making decisions,
Yep.
trying to filter it in the way that you want to be perceived. Like
Yeah.
it means a lot to me. That's one of my main drives as far as wanting to be an instructor.
Yeah, that's phenomenal, and you mentioned you're probably 25 or 26 now. That
Yeah,
also
yeah,
that
it's
also,
crazy.
that also puts in perspective exactly how old we are.
I know.
Because
Oh, that's the thing.
I think about that a lot. We started the magazine 8 years ago, and my kids are now 15 and 13, and they were in kindergarten, preschool. And then I think back to my wife's first
Sure.
year of teaching, which was, man, 2000 and 2001 when she was first taught. So, I mean, that means that she was teaching middle school. Some of those middle schoolers that she was teaching are now 30 years old.
Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? You
Yeah,
look. I've had I'll have kids run up to hug me at times when I'm out. Like, 'cause I've taught thousands of kids at this point. I'll have
sure,
kids that I've only taught maybe once or twice at a special event somewhere out and about,
sure.
and I'll have them run up to give me a hug, and I'll look at, and this is 5 years after I taught them. I'll look at the child running to hug me, and in my mind, I'm thinking I don't want to be the stranger danger poster guy of random karate guy hugs my child. And
Yep.
so I'm looking at these kids running up who look completely different, and you just don't recognize them. It's
Yeah.
amazing how fast they grow. I even had I had a time the drumstick dash that they
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
do. Well, I was at the drumstick dash one time, and I'm talking to a guy, and at one point I say, have you ever thought about taking martial arts? So I talked to him for 10 minutes now, and he looks at me with this weird look, and I thought, oh no, he knows me, and I know him, but I don't know who he is. And I stare at him for a minute, and I realize at the time he trained, he was 12. He was like 20 when I saw him at Drumstick Dash with a full beard. And I'm like, dude, you can't hold me to
Yeah.
recognizing you with a full-on man beard when you're 20. It was amazing to see how just just how fast they grow, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Age is a tricky thing. So
Yeah, well, it makes you appreciate everything though, because I mean, you realize you said thousands of kids, how many impressions you have made upon the kids over the years that are no longer kids, that are adults now, and that are have their own lives, and maybe they've moved out of the area, and the people that you've taught, I mean,
it's a
probably all in
massive
place. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a
Amazing.
massive effect. So that's been
Absolutely.
my biggest the biggest pro, as far as out of all the cool things. I feel like that is the biggest pro in my life, is the impact I have, or the potential impact I have on trying
Yeah.
to be a positive influence. And it's crazy. I can say literally the exact same thing as their parents already telling them at home, but because it is not from mom and dad, they're like, that guy must be right. And so even if it's just me saying the same thing as moms and dads are saying, it's still helpful for parents. And the same is true for me. I have a 6-year-old daughter, Vivian, who I tried to convince her when she was 4. I said, Vivian, this doll is Elsa from the movie Frozen. She's like, no, that's Anna, Dad. And a couple weeks of her just not believing me. Watching the movie, Vivian, they're calling her Elsa. Look at the doll. She's like, no, no, no. Well, she comes back from preschool and says, this is Elsa. And I'm like, I told you. She says, no, 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 you didn't tell me. Jackson, 4-year-old Jackson told her. And
Yeah, of
you
course.
can't teach your own kids. That's just the way it is. So,
Sometimes that's what it takes. Somebody now, a friend or a teacher or something from outside, and then
yep.
they know it's Elsa.
That's right.
But
That's right.
so, show us, give us a little example. Show us what simple ways to avoid a fight. Things
Yeah.
that might be helpful to people that we don't have quite the room here, so we're just going to watch. We're not going to
Oh,
try.
that's fine. Yeah, I've got
My daughter might like to, but I can't. We don't have enough room here, so we're going to
that's
watch
okay.
you.
I got you covered. I've got my social distancing partner here. I'll show you in a second.
Oh,
If you
nice.
don't happen to have nunchucks on you when you're walking around, which you should, but if you don't, let me grab my partner and pull him over. Hang on one second. He's a little lazy, isn't like walking on his own. Talking about necessity being the mother of invention. I've been calling this guy Bob. I
Ah,
took
nice.
my uniform and tied it over his chest. He's got pool noodles for arms. He's been evolving over the last couple months, where he has gloves for hands now. I'm pretty proud of what I've created thus far.
That's pretty darn good. I gotta say, that's
Yeah,
that's going above and beyond. I think with the gloves and the arm, that's pretty good.
yeah, teaching like wrist grabs and things like that. Which this rotation in classes, we've been teaching some simple breakaways for if someone grabs you on the wrist, ways to get out.
Sure.
And there's different levels of response. For example, if you have, let me tilt down so you'll be able to see Bob on this. If you have a stranger grab you, that's different than someone's just messing around. I mean, different ways to get away. Some
Mhm.
are more aggressive, some are less. I like teaching when I can. One of the styles that we incorporate is called Aikido. And Aikido is like safe self-defense, simple breakaways, simple
Mhm.
ways to make them get off of balance so you can get away without having to hurt them. So
Sure.
one of the ones we were teaching this rotation, in fact, I'll start with a Mr. Miyagi for you today. So one of the ones we're teaching this rotation is if someone reaches across and grabs the other hand. So let's say Bob, this is Bob's right hand on this side, my right hand's here. If
Yep.
Bob reaches across from his right and grabs my right hand, just like this, what I teach the students to do, I tell them, imagine we're waxing the car. We're going to take our hand, we're going to go down and follow our thumb around, and we wax on like that. After we wax the car, the same hand, we're going to squeeze that sponge and try to wring it out, and then we're going to pull it, and we're going to put it in our pocket. I know putting it in your pocket doesn't make sense for the analogy, but it works for what I need it to do.
Sure.
From
Absolutely.
there, in your other hand, you should have your hose, right? So your hose, you're going to put it right here, and you're putting it right on the back of the elbow. And this is a simple arm bar as far as a way to help get them off balance, but you don't have to hurt them when doing it. So ways to protect yourself, you don't have to be aggressive. The other one we do is called baseball. Now, baseball would be, let's do this side. Let's say Bob, and his hand's upside down. Let's say Bob takes his right hand, he grabs me on my left wrist. So same side wrist grab, right?
Yep.
Well, if you're being grabbed, we usually like to start with a distraction. So let's say I'm a kid, Bob's up here, he's an adult. If I'm down here, he's up there, me just pulling away is going to be challenging. So we usually teach to distract first. We're going to take one foot and we step on the toes just to distract. Now on this one, let me tilt the camera so you'll be able to see this. Let me slide Bob back a little bit. So watch.
You don't have feet. There's no feet.
What's that? I know, right? Well, that might be the next step in the evolution. Maybe I'll glue some shoes. In fact, we have a pair of shoes. I have no idea whose they are. Somebody left a pair of shoes here. So eventually they're going to be attached to Bob. But what happens is this. So if I'm grabbed,
self-aware.
that's right. Yes. So if I'm grabbed here, usually we stomp with the same side. And the reason is if you stomp with the same side, it means that I'm in position that I kind of have some balance back and forth, right?
Yeah,
If I were to stomp with my opposite foot, I'm twisted across, which makes it more challenging for this. So from here, after I stomp, get a little closer now, Bob. After I stomp, boom, I'm going to take my hands, I clap them together. And I usually teach, I like to teach the gable grip where you put your hands just like that rather than trying to lace. Because if you lace your fingers, if you're really scared, man, it is hard to do simple, gross motor skills when you're afraid. And so teaching this is a simple way to get into it. So after they clap, Bob, I need you to grab me again, please. So I go stomp, clap, and then with both hands, you're gonna pull whichever way their thumb is pointing. So now Bob doesn't have thumbs yet. That's on his wish list. His thumb would be on this side right there. And so the way that the thumb is pointing, you would take your hands and you'd swing both arms that direction like you're swinging a baseball bat, which is why we call this one baseball. And so it's a simple, easy way to get away that if someone grabs, whatever hand is grabbed, you take that leg, you stomp, you put your hands together, and then you just swing to the side. And doing it that way, it makes it so that as soon as you're free, depending on the scenario, you could step back in with an elbow to try to give you some space, or you have a chance to turn and try to get out of the situation and run.
On sprint,
so I honestly, man, having the blend of styles, I love just all the different styles of martial arts. There's so many cool styles of martial arts. I like having different variations from different styles so that some of them are more Aikido based. Some of them are a little bit more aggressive. For example, one that we teach later is someone grabbing you from behind. If someone goes to pick you up and take you away, we throw some different elbows and things. The stranger danger situation is a little bit more aggressive as far as what you need to do. And I had one parent come to me. Now, the student learned this at a different school out of state, and then he moved here, and he found out we're very similar as far as what they teach. And he said that he wasn't in class that day with his daughter. And his daughter comes home all excited and says, Dad, grab me from behind in a bear hug and lean to this side over here. And he said, oh, okay. And so he said he came up and grabbed her, and he thought, I'm going to make it tough. I'm going to lean to the other side and see what happens. And he didn't realize why she said lean to this side. So he goes like this, and she goes, pop, and took out both his front teeth. Now, I don't advocate violence, but he said he was both mortified and very proud in that moment, saying at least he knows that if somebody ever grabs his child, that she should be safe. You know,
absolutely. Took out two teeth. That's pretty impressive.
It was yeah, man. And she was itty bitty too. A lot of times, one of the things we teach, a lot of your power, it doesn't come from your muscles. It comes from your body weight coming through, and just simple things. I had a self-defense class I taught, and I had it was for a women's self-defense group years and years ago, and we were doing sets of elbows to the pad. And this woman that was hitting the pad, she maybe weighed 150 tops. Like she was, I guess 140, just teeny tiny. And she comes over, she goes one, two. On the third elbow, she jumps, and she goes a little too high. It glazes over the top of the pad, and it caught me in the side of the head. And there have
Wow.
only been 2 times in my life that I have like legitimately seen stars where everything went black for a second. The only other time was when a log hit me in the head. I was doing tree work and a log hit me in the head, and it was the equivalent of that
Wow.
as far as this tiny lady hit me with the elbow, doing her self defense moves. Man, it's amazing what you can do when you are using your body mechanics right as well.
Yeah, when you actually have everything working right. I played baseball for high school and college, and the same thing. If you get everything working from your feet to your hips to your waist to your arms,
Yes.
that's where the power comes from. That's why you see guys hit balls 500 feet, because they have everything working in such a fluid motion that when they hit
Yeah.
that ball, I mean, it's like, it's like a gunshot going off.
It's surreal. It always surprised me years ago before I got into martial arts. I remember I'd go out and I'm lifting weights, feeling, at 16 years old, lifting weights all the time and getting
Yep.
some muscle on. And then I would watch, I played volleyball for a little while, and I'd watch girls that were like just tiny. They'd hit the volleyball, and I swear there was smoke coming off the back of the volleyball. They hit it so hard. And I'm looking like I have some muscles. Like, why is it
Yep.
that she's so much stronger than me? But then
Yep.
after doing classes, like learning that body mechanic thing, this helps a lot with other sports. I get a lot of people that will take martial arts classes and then say their football improved, or their basketball or volleyball, soccer
Yep.
improved based on coordination, flexibility, those attributes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great way to help your entire well being and performance in other sports. It's an absolutely one. I wish I got in when I was younger. I think I would have probably enjoyed it. I took one class, I remember, as a sample with a friend, and something happened during. I can't remember exactly, but something happened during it. I wasn't really into it, but always impressed that for those who do, and I've actually thought about getting my kids
Heck
involved
yeah.
at some point. And one of them went to, I guess, was it a birthday party you went to?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember they came in with Mangiarati family, right?
yeah, you got it. There you go. Those are our
See,
neighbors.
oh, that's right. Mr. Mangiarati mentioned that. That's awesome, man. That's really cool. They're a really cool family. I like. They are phenomenal. Busy, but phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So before we let you go, give us one more time website. It's superkicks.ninja. Is that right?
Superkickskarate.ninja. Yes, sir.
Super.
Superkickskarate.ninja.
Okay.
Or you could do superkickskarate.net or superkickskarate.club.ninja will let you pick which location, though.
So
Or you can just
basically,
find us on Facebook. Facebook.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty much what everyone uses at this
Search,
point.
yeah, search Facebook, and they're good.
Facebook.com, search Super Kicks Karate, and you'll learn about what you guys are offering come when we open back up, I guess, and what you're offering
Yes,
now.
sir.
And hopefully, we always see you out at events, and you're at our
Yes,
events a
sir.
lot. Hopefully hopefully there will be events to go
I
to soon.
know. Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, we our father daughter dance, which is scheduled for June 19th, is teetering on the edge of us
Fingers crossed. I'm
rescheduling.
with you. Yeah, I'm with you.
The is it phase two is says 50 people, and it looks like that'll probably take place during phase two. So I think we normally have 400, which won't fit in that 550
Ow.
category. So I'm thinking we're
Ow.
probably gonna have to move that, but yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it is. Hopefully by the
Yeah.
fall
I'm with you.
we'll be seeing each other at events.
That would be phenomenal. Yep. So thank you so much for having me on. I was super excited when I found out that we won on
Yes,
the best
family
of that you
favorite.
guys do. I was really excited about it. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on with you guys, and thank you for your time and hanging out. And when you're ready, I'm here for class for you. Whenever you want to jump in with your kids, please.
Well, absolutely. As soon as we get back to normalcy, we will definitely
Perfect.
definitely look into it. But yeah, congratulations on that as well. I forgot to mention that you did win for best martial arts.
Super excited. Yeah, man.
So that's really cool. And we get a ton of parents that vote in that. So it means
Good. 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 Good.
it means the parents like you.
I'm
And
grateful
Bob
for
does too.
grateful for it. Yeah. So well, thank you so much for everything. I'm looking forward to having you guys in when the time's ready. Zoom. Even if you can't jump in now, you can jump in on Zoom with us if you want to try a couple virtual classes. And I will say, 15 years of martial arts training, different multiple styles and everything. I should tell you that if your wife is angry at you, she can still take me. She'll still be able to take you as well. And so I don't want to sell you under false pretenses as far as coming in. I told my wife said just make sure you hurry back home for dinner after this. So I will be thinking about you later on. But thank you for everything, and let me know when you guys are up and running for events again.
All right, sounds good, John. Take care. Enjoy dinner. We're going to go eat dinner too. So enjoy and stay safe and dry.
Thank you, sir. Adios. See you guys.
You didn't see it, but Ani and Evie were practicing karate moves in the background while this was going on.
There.
Well, you had the close up of me, right?
No, I used that camera.
Never.
So they saw me feeding him.
Well, okay.
Never mind.
Okay, so the thing is, I switch back and forth from the two of you, and also, I do have your FaceTime camera.
Yeah.
But sometimes this is just better quality.
Yeah, sure.
And the only reason I use the FaceTime camera is because when I do the split view.
Yep.
It sometimes cuts. You can see Evie, but it like cuts your face in half. So it's just like Evie messing around, and then like half of Dad's face. So
messing around.
In this case, I don't know what was up with his, but in this case, you were able to see.
Yeah.
You and Evie and him.
Okay, awesome. Well,
they did see me.
Yeah, they saw.
Well, I don't know when he was teaching you the karate moves. When he was doing his karate moves, it was just him.
Well, that makes sense. That makes sense. We wouldn't want it. Yeah.
Every time, even if you talk.
And when Evie was feeding her friend over there, that was just her. All right, everybody.
I don't know if they saw that or not. I wasn't entirely paying attention to Evie.
It's about that time to say goodbye. So.
No, it's baseball numbers.
Yeah, that's what I was going to do. It's about that time to say goodbye. So before we go, we have to make sure we tell everybody.
I was just going to say it's about that time to say goodbye.
Bob Lemon.
Bob Lemon, yes, Bob Lemon, but only as a manager, just as the manager.
Kyle.
So, number 66.
Yeah,
very nice. Number 66 for the Yankees hasn't been worn many times. A total of 15 years it's been worn. That's it.
So 16.
Not a lot.
Wait. For some reason, I said 16 because I thought the number was 16. Then I realized it was not 16. It was 66.
There's only been 8 players to have worn the number 66. Only 8 players over a course of 15 years. That's it.
Oh my gosh.
So the best player on this list, there's really not a lot, but the best player on this list is Steve Balboni.
Steve Balboni.
Steve Bye-Bye Balboni. That was his nickname.
Looks like Steve Baloney.
Because he hit a lot of home runs. And he came up with the Yankees. The Yankees traded him to the Royals, came back to the Yankees. So when he was first with the Yankees, he wore 66.
His name is Steve Baloney.
Steve Baloney.
Balboni.
Just Bal, B-A-L, Bal. Boni. Boni. B-O-I-N. Balboni. There you go. Good job. All right. Yeah. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks to John from Super Kicks, our family favorite award winner for Best Martial Arts Studio. We'll be back tomorrow night with Tobby, the great art detective. Will be here, and we'll be posting what kind of what things you need to do the craft with us and Tobby. So tune in tomorrow night, 6:15 for Tobby, the great art detective. Until then, stay safe, stay dry, and we'll see you then.
And make sure to wash your hands.
Wash your hands. Just go outside. There's a lot of water.
You know what I should not do? You want to know what I should do? Just pretend I end the broadcast and not end the broadcast, because we'll probably get some talk about Evie drinking Kool-Aid or something.
That's very possible. Bye, everybody.
Bye.